Ding, 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 ding. Dun, dun. Well, Wooly here. It's a hot one. Good evening, everybody. Let me change that. Welcome. Welcome to Woolys World on a Friday night. What are we looking at today? The letter J. The letter J in our Firewood A to Z. We are getting through it, guys. It is absolutely mental that we are getting so much out of this. J. Hey, Boggy. Where are you going? The dogs have joined us as per usual. Guys, everybody is welcome to Woolys World on this Friday night. It is sweltering up here. It is absolutely sweltering. I don't know if I will be able to stay up here for an hour. It's like being in a sauna. But yeah, guys, welcome. It has been a busy week. It has been a very hot week. Like definitely the hottest it's been here in the summer. I know you guys in the UK got a lot of hot weather in July, but we didn't really get that. But it is very, very hot here. I think we're talking 27 to 29 degrees. It could have been over 30 degrees somewhere here in Ireland today. Well, that's hot for us. Like, so it is much appreciated. Simon, how's it going, buddy? It is much appreciated, and it is like, oh, it's just so nice. You're just doing everything in shorts and flip-flops, you know. Now, I haven't worn a t-shirt in days, even though I'm working and I wear one at work. But I feel like I haven't worn one. Wednesday we went to the beach. Do you know what I mean? So I was a little bit what is the word? I was a little bit late in my comments and stuff like that on Wednesday, so that's why, because I was at the beach and just basically playing in the water with Bruno for hours and hours on end. It was really, really good fun. So you guys in the UK are sweltering, or in England are sweltering again in the heat, and it's crazy. But listen, what has happened this week in Woolys World? Well, do you know the brush cutter happened? The brush cutter's back. Yes, I don't know. I spoke about this. Well, I did a video on the brush cutter this week. Was it this week? Was that last week? I don't remember. It all seems the same. Did I? I don't remember. I think it was this week. I'm going to say it was this week. I know I spoke about it last week, but I feel like I only got around to using the brush cutter this week. And it worked 100%. So I think it worked 100%. It's hard to remember. It's been so long since I used it. It's been hard to remember what it was like when I was using it. But I was thinking back, and when I was using it, I was thinking to myself, I need a year review on this machine. It is not going to go well for Honda, by the way. It is an okay machine. That's what I always thought. I think I was maybe blinkered a little bit, or maybe I was maybe blinded a little bit by the Honda badge. I think maybe oh Jesus, yes, a backpack brush cutter. Now, what are they like? Are they any good? It's like, well, this is it, right? So you have to service them every 6 months. Every 6 months. A Honda lawnmower will go for years without a service. Why just make the bloody thing? Why just make the brush cutter so finicky? You know, you can't tip it up and down, you know, because that changes the oil and stuff like that, which could have been an issue. It could have been why it happened in the first place as well. So, like if you put it like this, right? I had that brush cutter, that Honda brush cutter, for 1 year. And for 4 to 5 months of that year, it was in the shop getting fixed. Do you know what I mean? the biggest job it did was those brambles, you know. So I don't know. I always felt that when I was using it, that it wasn't as good as I thought it should have been. Does that make sense? Now, if I had bought a big 55cc Husqvarna or the biggest still saw or the biggest still brush cutter, now that would have been, you know, like they're beasting things. Human, how's it going? Thanks for your email, guys. It is, you know, if that makes sense. But anyway, I did the review. I do feel like it was very hot when I was using it, as in the machine itself. But then, and I mentioned that in the video, but then I'm thinking to myself, I sort of remember it being hot anyway. So does that make sense? I remember it being a hot machine when it's running. You know, when you put your hand back, it's not melting any plastic or anything like that. Nothing that I should be worried about. But it just was, I don't know. It's too late. Can't worry about the past. I'm going to keep using it. So I don't know. I don't know, Gay. I don't know if it was or not. It is too hard. Chippy! Thank you very much. Chippy straight in there with the 20 bucks again. Again, Chippy. That's every week. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Look. I'm rocking my pop look, rocking my big fat belly. I'm rocking my my Papa Hat t-shirt that Roddy bought for me. And he sent me an axe. Jesus. Good man, Roddy. Really? Makita are stopping making petrol engines. So Mrs. Wooly is going to be going. So why is there no money left in our account? So because I don't know. First thing I would do is I would get a. Is it powerful? I know it's saying it's 43cc. I don't know. It feels weird. Flexi shaft. See? Flexi shaft. See, look, they have that 43cc one. Anyway, look, I'll get off that or be away off. A Billy Goat brush cutter. Let me see now. Billy Goat brush cutter. Is that like a... Is that a walk behind thing? Is it? No way, guys. I wonder. Yeah. Sorry, guys, just a load of messages come in there. There's been none for ages. A Billy Goat brush cutter. That seems, sorry, I keep pushing the table. That seems really, really familiar. And it's not just you go out down and buy a goat. I think there's a walk behind, and I think there might also be a sit on one. So I have no knowledge of them. But listen, I tell you what I did, Alistair, is I just brush cutted. If you go back and you look at Woolly versus the Jungle videos, I think it's called It Is Done or I Am Done or something. Like that was tough work for that, you know, and that's what broke the Honda. So and all I do now is I run it over with a lawnmower. That's good. I trimmed mine with a brush cutter, and I would say the first two cuts after it with the lawnmower were rough enough, you know, so it's banging through the leftover of the leftover of the brambles and briars and stuff. Then after that, it's fine. It's just at the minute it's too dusty to cut it. What's a DR? I like a walk behind. You see, I always fancy to walk behind. I have Sometimes it can get a bit monotonous, I think, using the brush cutter, just lifting it up and lifting it down, just bashing through all those brambles. Sometimes it sort of does my head in. Oh yeah. It was like a big it was like a big hedge cutter on wheels, wasn't it? You just walk them along. But what I find with those is that it just cuts the stuff. Whereas if you're using a brush cutter or a flail mower or something like that, it leaves nothing behind except mulch. So that's the factor that you have to consider as well. Now, I have been on jobs, working on jobs where we have used a hedge cutter to cut brambles and pull them out, cut the brambles and pull them out, and cut the brambles and pull them out. And it was oh my God, it was a nightmare. Whereas if you were using the brush cutter, you're left with little tiny pieces like that. Like there's no cleanup involved. Alistair, what CC is your trimmer? Because Oregon make a really good mulching blade. They actually make two mulching blades. The one for all. There's a 3-bladed one and there's a 2-bladed one. The 2-bladed one I think is for 30 cc's and less, and the 3-bladed one is for 30 cc and over. And they cost about 15. They're probably about $20 maybe, and they are unbelievable. That's what I used. Okay, Simon. Okay. I was very tempted to buy a walk behind flail mower. I really was. Because you can't rent them here. It's not something you can rent. So is everybody tonight that's on from the States? Oh no, Dieselman's on. I'm expecting anybody from around this part of from over our side of the pond is probably outside in a beer garden somewhere. It is remarkably warm, as I was saying. Yeah, I would look up the Oregon. Oh, Simon, I thought you were. Oh, I get you. Sorry, Simon, you threw me there a minute ago. Okay, so yeah, Oregon one for all. I really would check them out. If your trimmer is fit to take it, that's the problem. So it's about 6 mil of steel, and it just basically spins and bashes everything. But you're left with little pieces this size. It really is an amazing thing for a brush cutter or for a thing. Yes. Well, lockdown turned a lot of gardens into beer gardens, didn't it? So yeah, so I was only strimming with it. The guy who fixed it said, listen, run a couple of tanks through it and then bring it back in and we'll see how it's getting on. And I ran 2 tanks through it, so I'll leave it now and I'll bring it in someday next week. And it was fine. Did notice a lot of debris in the bottom of the petrol tank though. And I wonder, is my fuel supply compromised somewhere in that the petrol station I'm buying my petrol off is dirty? Because I tell you, I was looking into the petrol can and there just seems to be grit and stuff in the bottom of the petrol can. I don't know. I never checked. Just going back into the shop next week. He can check, So it is. But as I was saying, and I see it in the video, guys, looking back on it, and I know we shouldn't really look back on anything, but looking back on it, I probably, if I was to do it again, I probably would go with a 2-stroke machine, to tell you the truth. I know there's torque and there's longevity and there's parts and Honda and, but this is the thing. The fact, even though that is a 5-year Honda warranty, right? The fact that there's no Honda dealer near me means that is pointless, because I am not going to package up something like that and send it away on the off chance that they might fix it. Do you know what I mean? So I might get one of those, yeah. A filter funnel. I did have one, but I can't seem to find it. Portable fuel filter, 27 quid. Jesus Christ. That is unbelievable. I suppose it's I suppose it will save you money in the long run. It does look good, but you should nearly be filtering it coming out of the tank, or coming out, you know, filtering it straight into your tank. Okay. Well, I'll probably go down there tomorrow and Red Branch will be burnt down because the petrol tank will have exploded in the heat. But sure, that is just the way of it, guys, isn't it? So it is long may it last. But it is one of those things. It is, you know, it means that next week it's going to lash rain, doesn't it? We got thunderstorm warnings for Monday, so that's when I'll start thinking to myself, oh, I need to get back into firewood. I need to get more firewood, blah, 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 blah. But at the minute, the firewood has dried up. Well, it hasn't, because I still need to get that last piece of wood off the mountain. But that would be a September job at this stage, because I'm looking at I'm looking at 7 days a week now for the next 4 weeks, maybe. So, yeah. What can you do? But anyway, so guys, what we have been talking about over the last couple of weeks, and you're very, very aware of this, is our firewood of A to Z. Ed, how's it going, buddy? Our firewood of A to Z. And today we are on the letter J. Now, I had a couple of suggestions come in. One of them, no, actually, some very, very good suggestions. But what I am looking is get them into your comments, into the comments here, and let us have a look and see what we want to talk about tonight in relation to the letter J. Now, unfortunately, Pappy, we are not talking about Justin Bieber. But there is two good ones there. Jigs and jumbos. Sounds like a meal. Jigs and jumbos. Jigs and jumbos being... Guy, I use Rotatec chains. They're good. Well, I have no problem with them at all. They're cheap and they work. I run Rotatec chains on some saws, and I won't run Oregon chains on the other saws, and I tell you that I don't see any real difference with them. Walnut is something that I have had a little bit of experience with. Walnut burl. I know I didn't burn it either. No, this stuff was beautiful. Oh my God, it was a pretty wood. The bars, I wouldn't be pushed on the bars. I had a bar that delaminated and it wore out really quick. The 24-inch bar I have on the 181 is a Rotatec, and it's chipped and it doesn't get a lot of use, and it's chipped and it's very heavy, very, very, very heavy. So Joe Dolan. Only Irish people will get that diesel, man. Do you know what I mean? Do you know, for what you pay, they're okay. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I've been burning the candle at both ends. Up at 6 in the morning, and I'm not in bed till 12 o'clock at night. But let me see now. Let me see. So sharpening jigs and jumbo rounds, guys. That is the topics that I was thinking of tonight. Okay, because they are both something that I have a lot of experience with. So let's get started, guys. We can talk a little bit about Joe Dolan if you want, but I'm not really a big fan. So nobody has a clue what we're talking about, Diesel Man. Guys, jumbo rounds. We have all been there. It's the end of the day. You're cutting a 4-foot tree. your back is broke. You've been at it for hours and hours and hours. You're just doing it. You're doing it. You're sick of rolling logs. You don't know what way to get it. Thomas, how's it going? And you're just like, how do I deal with these jumbo rounds? Now, I rip them, right? I rip them with the saw. I am always in a position. I'm not going to say always. I am nearly always in a position where I need to carry everything to my truck. And my truck is either 200 yards away, or it's across a fence, or it's never straightforward. Never, unless I'm at Red Branch, and still I can't get the truck into the forest. So so this is always an issue. So big rounds are a big hassle. So when I was cutting the beech trees, guys, I don't know if you remember that, when I had all those beech trees to take apart, and I had them all stacked up down at Red Branch, and I worked on them for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I would say I put out about I was putting out a video a day, and you were talking. There must have been at least 7 weeks of content of me just cutting off those beech, and I noodled those big rounds. I split some of them, and I noodled 80% of them, and it was so much easier. They're easier to stack. If you're building your log ends and stuff like that, if you're building your crosses, like this, if you're stacking them up to hold them in place, it's so much easier because you're cutting everything nearly square. And the hassle I got for noodling those things? People coming on and saying that is such a waste of firewood. Big rounds, yeah, Thomas. Big rounds of firewood. People were coming on and saying, like, oh, what a waste of wood, and I was like, how wide is a chain? How wide is a chain? Like, really? I'm not a big guy. I have to lift the stuff up at least 4 foot into the back. Oh, Simon, that'd be the way to do it. A big round is where you cut where a tree falls over, and you have a big, really thick trunk of the tree, and you're cutting it up into like cakes so that you can split it up, and then for firewood. So we call them rounds. Well, we call them rounds, don't we? I'm second guessing myself. So rounds, so small rounds, big rounds, small rounds, big rounds. Just like I'm dancing, small box, big box. So for me, as I was saying, I am manhandling everything everywhere. Even if it's in a wheelbarrow, it needs to be manhandled across something. It needs to be lifted. It needs to be dragged. It needs to be cursed at. It needs to be spat upon. It needs to fall over at least twice. You the sort of guntering we call that. Well, 20 ton of big rounds. Jesus, man. That sounds like heaven. Yeah, two-stroke the hell out of it, boy. There you go. What do we do with this? Let's two-stroke it. Woolly style. And I had a really good system going. I had figured out a really good way of cutting these rounds up where I could slice, and then turn it over and slice down, and then slice down and slice down. So they were all dropping together like this, right? So then you walked over to your round, and you could pick up the 6 pieces of firewood, and they're all stacked on top of each other. Just pick them up, toss them like a caber into the back of the truck. Cookies. Yeah, people call them cookies, yeah. I'm not sure if I've ever been to Hampshire, but maybe that was the part of the brain that I lost. See what I did there? So, oh, yes. Yes, Tom. Sorry. Well, Tom, you came in with the same number, the same color, the same letter, and nearly the same name, and I thought you'd already commented. Sorry. Welcome. Yes, human. Yes. No, do you know what I find with use it with big rounds and stuff like this, guys? I went through a phase of making a lot of stuff out of wood, and I'm not a joiner. I'm not anything like that. I'm talking about making like chopping boards and stuff like that, and basically, if you're making stuff out of wood, especially bespoke arty type stuff, if you just make them out of the rounds of timber or or whatever, they split because the wood needs to be processed in a certain way. So it needs to be quarter sawn wood. Okay. So if you want something to stay flat and not split, the grain all needs to be running like this the same way. If the grain is running different ways, if you have a big, if you went up and you cut a cookie, right, that was this size and it was beautiful, the most beautiful piece of wood, and you left it anywhere, you come back, it's going to have a big split in it like that because the timber dries and that's what happens. So J is for walnut. Yeah, I used to throw the axes at the big rounds as well. I worked in the jungle. I didn't work in the jungle. I have been in a few jungles, not urban jungles, but I've been in the Amazon. I've been in the I think they call them the cloud forests in Costa Rica or something like that. Or maybe it's just the jungle in Costa Rica. I don't know what it's called. But that big, when I did a couple of videos there recently, and I uploaded them to my Facebook page, and they were about, I tested axes on the same species of wood from the same tree, and it was all the spruce, and they had all been down at Red Branch, and I had used them for axe throwing. And it was very effective for axe throwing. They're very hard to split by throwing an axe at them, but it stuck okay, and it was fine, like so. So it was good fun. But guys, look, I don't know if there's an easier way to do it or not. I have gone and I have hammered at rounds and hammered at rounds. I've tried all different techniques, and I like, they are the one video that the people come out on. They really, really are. Like, I have done videos where I say at the start of the video, guys, for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to try and split this piece of wood this way. And that's what I do. I mean, like, so I'm either going to start in the middle and I'm going to work my way out, or I'm going to peel it off around the outside and get it smaller and smaller and smaller, or I'm going to find a crack and try and work the crack. And I have done that, and people have come on and said, "Oh, you're doing that wrong," and I'm like going, "Did you not watch the start of the video?" Where I explained that I'm going to do it wrong on purpose to see what happens. They're making hydraulic splitters. Who's AVE? I don't know that channel. The 435 is temperamental. I haven't fiddled with anything because I took it into the shop and I ran it, and it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. Yeah, no worry, Thomas. So I need to get it out and I need to run it and I see what's going on. It probably needs a new carburetor. That's all. It is. I'm sort of. I have it 8 years and it's the same one that was in it when I bought it. I think. Listen, this is the thing, guys. Firewood is hard work. That's it. There's no easy way, unless you have one of those bobcats or something that has, that picks up the wood like this and then the arm closes on it. But you still have to cut it and you still have to get it there, I suppose. Yeah, that would be the easiest way. Excuse me. Guys, can you see that evening out there? Can you? Alistair, I was a fan of splitting with a sledge as well. No, I never heard of it. Never heard of that channel. I used to really enjoy splitting with a 10-pound sledge and wedges. It's just sometimes you just, you know, like I enjoy splitting firewood by hand, and that's something that we talk about a lot here. And we were talking about last week the benefits of it, you know. So I really do, and I would encourage people to do it because it's, you know, it's positive physical exercise. It is providing for your family. It is doing all these things. Ah, you see, it's a nice, yes. No, we didn't barbecue today. I did have steak, but it was nice. But guys, it's one of those things. You know, it just really is one of those things where, you know, sometimes you just got to go at it. You know, you got a big round, you're taking to yourself. Well, Thomas, I don't know if I've ever done that because a lot of times I've got my ass kicked. A sturgeon moon. That is a good one. Oh, okay. I'm camping tomorrow night. Is the moon going to be excellent? Is it? I understand. Siobhan's away. Siobhan's away meditating on the beach, so that's probably why. So it was. It is one of those things that, you know, like I like a job that you just have to do, right? There's not a workaround or anything. There's a big ass piece of wood and you just have to split it into smaller pieces so it can dry and fit in your fire. You know, it's not like, oh, if I leave it here for a little while, it'll just go away or anything like that. You just have to do it. You gotta build yourself up, get some mental resilience, and you have to go out and you have to beat this piece of wood with a piece of steel until it falls into pieces. And there is a beautiful simplicity in that. There really is. And that's the thing. Ooh, I got this as well. So, do you know what I mean? Guys, you know where I'm coming from, don't you? You know where I'm coming from. Exactly, Thomas. Exactly. It is mindfulness. It is mindfulness. That's what it is. Yeah. You see, that's the thing. So split them with the saw. Two-stroke them. Now what you're saying, Ed. Two-stroke them. And guys, I really don't understand it. I really don't understand where the negativity comes in. I don't understand why people are so against it. You know, it doesn't damage the saw. I know, Simon. Look, and here's the thing. Look what I have this side. That's a serious machete there as well. That's a serious weapon there as well. Not my thing, but not my thing at all. But I will probably take that machete down the red branch and I will cut down a tree with it. Just for fun. Just so that you guys can watch me cut down a tree with a machete. Kukri, I think you pronounce them. So, I like that, Tom. That's a good idea. Might just draw big smiley faces on them, take them out back and shoot them. See if that makes it any easier. You know, it is. It is one of those things, guys. It really is. It's just enjoyable. You know, split some firewood, and I haven't split any. No, what am I saying? I haven't split any firewood in ages. I think I split firewood on. I am losing track of time right now. I'm in. Today was 7 days in a row at work, I think. No, it wasn't. Monday was 7 days in a row in work. Today is like 12 days in a row in work. So I like it all. There's not a part of the process I don't enjoy. Maybe the finding of the wood for me is the least enjoyable part because I don't have access to wood. Everything that I burn is scrimped and saved from somewhere, you know. So I'm always looking for wood. I think a decent source would be good for me, you know. I know exactly. So let's talk about jigs, guys. Jigs, jigs, jigs. Jigs as in sharpening jigs, not in the dancing that Wooly does be doing late at night when he's been in the pub for too long. Uh yeah, human. You love it. Everybody loves it. That's why we're here. It's good fun. It's therapeutic. It's therapeutic. You split the wood or you take the axe to somebody else. Guys, it is therapeutic. Let us talk about sharpening jigs. Sharpening jigs. Guys, what do you use? I'm interested in your side of this because you know what I use. You know what I have been using consistently. Actually, nothing. No, not going to say nothing else. I have hand filed in the past. The Dremel is just faster, so I use a Dremel 99.9999999% of the time. So this is me rubbing my head now because the heat's starting to get to me. Now what do you use? Come on, who's hand filing? Who's using one of those stones? You know, the stones on the pull down thing. I don't like those. I don't like those. I think it's too easy to do it wrong. Maybe. Am I saying that wrong? Or is it? There's something going on downstairs. All the different names to do what, Thomas? Same guy. Same. Ah, okay. Well, Park, how's it going? All this hand file. Even at home. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And go back to the Rototech chains and stuff like that. They don't have the angles on them, so. I buy my Dremel bits on eBay. Sorry, guys, I'm leaning forward to get in because I have my glasses off. And you think it's good, Simon? I buy diamond bits on eBay, guys, and I found that I was using the Dremel bits, but they weren't lasting because they're like glue and stone mixed together or something like that. Whereas you can buy diamond bits on eBay and they last for years. The only way I have to replace them is if I lose them. They really, really, really last a long time. So much so that I use them for everything. If there's any bit of steel that I need to be polishing or grinding, that's what I use. As I use the ones for sharpening the chains. And I have different size ones for my different size chains, but I only have two different size. I have the wee small one for the top handle saw, and I have the other one for the bigger saw. Jesus, I can't even remember the size. Can't even remember. But I just find it so simple. I find it so fast and so easy. I do file, and generally I take spare chains with me, but I have been forced to file sometimes when I'm out, but not very often, to tell you the truth. You know, I'm always within 5 mile radius maybe of where I live. So even driving home, I can, you know, if I wreck a chain, I can fill up the truck and take it home and empty off a load of firewood and then do the chain up and go back out again, you know. Yes, you missed the Justin Bieber bit, Peppy, but you're very welcome to join us. We can talk about jelly bean ice cream if you want. It's fun. It's so hot, but Jesus, guys, I'm sweltering out here. Sweltering. This and the room behind us here is the hottest. They're the hottest room in the house. They get so hot. This is because this is just pure south, and they get so much sun during the day, especially in the summer. It's just, but they're freezing in winter, you know. I'm with you, Pappy. I'm going to go downstairs and have some ice cream, I think. It's a tough one tonight, boy. It's a tough one. But what do you prefer? This is it. So if you were out, well, this is the thing, right? This is what I was thinking about the Dremel. Right. I used to have a battery Dremel, and it was handy, right? But I never used the sharpening stone on it because I didn't have saws at the time. But I tell you what happened with the battery Dremel was that I found it was a little bit unreliable. So now that was 10 years ago, maybe I had it. So they've probably come on a fair bit since then. But I did have a company, some Chinese company, or some company in China wanted to send me a battery operated rotary tool. And I said no. And then I was thinking, maybe it would be handy. You know, maybe like a little battery operated rotary tool would be handy. So if you are out, you have it with you, you can sharpen up your chains on the go. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not big. You know, if it's something that you plug into a cradle and it just charges away, it might be handy enough, actually. Maybe I'll see. Maybe I'll see how it gets on. Maybe I'll contact them. I don't mind hand filing. It's not, but you know, big chains takes a long time. Yeah, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Yeah, you spelled still wrong. We said something bad about still chainsaws. Roddy is going to appear and chastise us. Go, Roddy, go. I would say Roddy's in the beer garden somewhere, or he's out the back of the house. I'm the same guy. That's what I do. And unless I hit a nail or I hit a fence, you know, generally, you know, this is the thing. I'm talking about firewood production. I'm not talking about a commercial job, you know, where you're more than likely to hit something. Good man, Ice Cream Holio. You get that thumb up as well. Ice Cream Holio is Pappy 64-wheel drive. Yeah. Yeah, stay away from the Huskies. Guys, well, this is it, isn't it? All saws have their merits. You know, all saws are good when they're working, you know, so but the Huskies are better. I know boys with Makita saws and they swear by them. Do you know what I mean? So that's true. Well, you see, this is the thing, Porg, is I always have files with me. Always carry files. Always have handles. Always have flat files. Always have round files to fit any saw that I have with me. So I carry a little toolbox. So and a stump vise as well. So if you know, if for example you happen to hit 3 nails in a row, and this is the thing, it has happened. This, you know what I mean? I had I remember a who dropped off some sycamore here one time, and I think he did 5 chains in a row or something, cutting that tree down. It was just full of nails. It was like a kid had been sitting in the garden one day 20 years ago, hammering nails into the tree. It was just full of nails, and that's the same tree that I hit a nail on, and I did a video about that as well. One of the backyard logging videos. Jeez, I must get out and do another one of them. I have a bit of a stack out the back, you know, so it does happen. You know, well, no, here's the thing as well. I went over to clear some ivy off a tree for me ma a while ago. Must have been in July. The first thing I did was I hit a fence, which the tree had grown around. You know. Well, do you know, when I used to do camper vans and stuff like that, a mate of mine had something that you plugged into the cigarette lighter, and it was a 3-pin plug, so you could plug 3-pin plugs into it, and it was charged off the cigarette lighter. That was a handy thing. See, that's it, Torque. You know, when you're talking about doing a chain in 2 minutes versus doing a chain in 20 minutes, well, I know it's not going to take you 20 minutes, but it's going to take you a long time. But then you get a break. This is it. I suppose people enjoy it. A lot of people enjoy it. A lot of people find it very therapeutic, you see. So who am I to say don't do it? And this is the thing, guys. I'm not going to say that anyway. The thing is that you find a system that suits you and you stick with it, you know. But if you know how to hand file a chain, you will never be stuck. This is the thing. Right, I've missed something there. Sorry. No, I got it. You're talking about Oleo Mac chainsaw. Sorry, I didn't know what was going on with the GS650. I thought it was some sort of German special forces group or something like that. But well, you know, this is the thing. I was buying 2 chains off the Rototech website or Northern Orb Supplies or whatever they're called. I think it was like 2 chains for £14. You know, that is hard to walk past. 2 chains for £14. It's like an Oregon chain is 20 quid, isn't it? Like, you know, for a chainsaw chain. And I've seen people, I know people have gone in to get their chain sharpened and come out with a new chain, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, could have just sharpened that, you know. So and chains aren't cheap. Well, it costs £5 to sharpen a chain. That is hard to say. It costs £5 to sharpen a chain, you know, whereas you're getting a new one for 6 or for 8 quid. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard to pass up. Really, Simon. People well, when I was on the Orb Facebook pages, people used to give out about Northern Orb Supplies all the time. And you know, I'll tell you a funny story. I won a gift voucher off Northern Orb Supplies. I won a 50 quid gift voucher, right? I was using their chains and their bars. This is a good while ago, right? And I said to them, look, I have a YouTube channel. This was back, I had maybe 2,000 subscribers or something. I says, I have a YouTube channel. I do a bit of chainsaw stuff. I says, well, do you want to send me something and I'll review it? So they sent me a little 1 litre thing of bar oil, right? So I did a video on the bar oil, right? And they emailed me and they said, we're running this competition, Wooly, to upload a YouTube video, tag Northern Orb Supplies in it, about one of our products, and we'll enter you into a prize draw. So they sent me a product. I did a review of it. I entered the competition and I won the competition. I got a 50 quid voucher. That's like falling out of a plane and landing on a mattress and rolling over and finding somebody's wallet. Woolly style. That is called Woolly style, guys. Now, I would say there's some of my saws I have 10 chains for. I think the small saw, the top handle saw, I have 2 chains for. Everything else, I have loads. I mean, like they're hung up in sizes. You know, you're talking the 20-inch for the 365, or if I put the 20-inch bar on the 181, I could have 15 chains, and you know, and I'd be going through boxes. And I'll pull out a chain, Rototech chains out, and I'll pull it out in a bag, and it's never even been opened. You know, so this is what happens. Because I don't throw them out. So I have like when I'm working on my bench, you know, sometimes if I'm making videos in the shed, you guys would be here looking down across my bench. But what you can't see is just here is that there's like small chains, medium chains, large chains, extra large chains, you know, all set up on pegs. But over here behind, there's a whole load of chains that are done, but I just don't throw them out. I just keep them. I don't know why. I've loaded bars that are done as well, and I just hang them up. I don't really do anything with them. No, do you know, Human? That is something that I was looking at today. My brother has a pair of them. He was going on about them. The GSGs. Because I was thinking about getting a pair of Adidas Terävä boots, the Gore-Tex ones, because I have a pair of the non-Gore-Tex trainers, and they're quite nice. So for the warm days down at Red Branch, where you don't really need a lot of heavy footwear and you're not really doing anything except just walking around teaching kids and stuff, it's nice to have lightweight shoes on. So I have been wearing those. It'll come in handy someday. Exactly, Tom. Exactly. Who do I hear? Is there a dog in there? There is a dog in there. There's a wee dog in underneath me panting like crazy. How many bow saws do I have? I have one, and the tree is actually growing around it. What's happening, girls? Oh, they're getting dessert. They're getting dessert. Woolys Chain Gang t-shirt. Yeah, Jesus, the t-shirts. Man, I really need to sort out t-shirts and stuff. I know I set up that website or whatever that was, and I haven't even looked at it in months since I set it up, and I'm sure nobody has bought a t-shirt. You know, ice cream, Peppy. I know they are handy, but this is the thing. So, like, I found like this house, like we rent this house, and it's a friend of mine's house, and he has worked in the forestry service all his life. So when I moved into this house, instead of him moving out all his old chainsaw bits, he just left them behind for me. So there's bars, and there's so that felon bar I use at Red Branch all the time, he left it for me. There's a 16-inch Oregon bar, there's a 16-inch brand new 16-inch Oregon chain in the box, but the sprocket is seized on the top of it, and I can't unseize it. So we all scream, Diesel Man. No, I haven't, Thomas. I've never considered it. I'm just. Bow saws are not my thing. I would like to try a silky folding saw, but I don't want to buy one. I'm lazy, and I don't want to spend money on stuff that I probably won't use. Maybe because it will be more of a Red Branch bushcraft thing. So it's like I have all this stuff here. What is it all on? These, like, I write, no, there it is there. So this is the bar and chain that I was going to get that time, but I haven't been able to save up enough money to buy it yet. I'm supposed to be saving up money to buy a compact tractor, but I have no money left. All the money I had for the compact tractor is gone. It's gone. Bob, how's it going, Bobinski? Good to see you, man. No, I don't use enough chain to warrant a big roll of it. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God, Simon. Right. Okay. So I had it. I know what I want, right? If I had got it when I had the money, it would have cost me around £4,500. Now they're pushing 9,000 for the same thing, and that is mental. Yeah, it would be nice to have, wouldn't it? I have all this soil to move at the minute, right? All this topsoil to move, and a digger, it will be no good. A JCB will be too big because I need to move it through the forest, you know. So a digger, if I hire a digger, I'm going to have to hire a dumper. So, and that's just going to dig up the whole place. So I'm sort of. The combine go up in flames. So I don't know, Diesel Man. I was just looking at something with a front loader on it. and probably a flail mower on the back, a hammer flail mower on the back. So the thing about Silkies that always bothered me was they're prone to snap the blade if you misuse them. Okay, and if you are tired, it's very easy to misuse a folding saw, I find, right? It is and this is why I prefer backhoes, guys, because a backhoe is heat treated differently, and a backhoe will bend and not break, whereas a Silky will snap, and the blades are expensive. Very, very skid steer might do it actually, but the topsoil is fairly compact. You see, I wonder if I hired a skid steer. You mean a bobcat, don't you? Like a bobcat type thing. That might work as well, actually. Clydesdale would be handy. I like Laplanders. Well, this is the thing, Simon. Everything's going to make a mess. A Lance Bulldog. We have spoken about this before, Peppy, have we? I'm gonna have to look this up. Oh my God, that is unbelievable. It's hard for me to look at this now. Oh my God, I must be getting tired. I had to close one eye to look at something there. Wheelbarrow Mittens. Cat's going out the window. Where are you going, Mittens? Do you want out? You can make this. Cats are so bloody agile, aren't they? Well, you see, here's the thing, Tom. It is bedtime, boys. Here's the thing. I made a camping pitch in the forest. Must have been June. And I wheelbarrowed 57 wheelbarrow loads of topsoil. And I damaged my rotator cuff doing it. And my shoulder has not been 100% since. I'm exercising that, I'm doing press ups and calisthenics and stuff 3 times a week, but I can feel it. Like I can feel it. So, God, we got the days when I used to be mixing cement and stuff for hours and hours and hours and hours on end. How did I do it? Like, I wouldn't even know how to do it. It's crazy. But so this is what I'm thinking. Like, so I need to make things, and then I need to be able to patch roads and stuff like that. So a compact tractor with a front bucket would be best. This is what I've decided. And we've been through it all. We did that whole live stream. Do you remember that whole big live stream and that whole big series of videos about compact tractors? And I had money saved up. Then, as what happens with savings, you spend it on other stuff, But anyway, what can you do? Someday, Mr. Kubota is going to come along and say, I know who deserves a compact tractor. We'll give one to Wooly and his subscribers, because they would love to see Wooly crash one into the river. Oh, good man, Tom. Yes, it would have to be 4-wheel drive. Guys, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the sunshine if you're over our side, because by Sunday it is going and we are facing thunderstorms. Thunderbolts of lightning, very, very frightening. Galileo. Guys, stay frosty. Rock on.